Hi, I'm Kelly Bandelos from kellybandelos.com. Today we're going to be talking about how to draw a face and how to capture the image of a person through how you would variate that grid. So I have here a photograph which you could basically take off the internet on how to draw a face. Okay, so you're going to do the structure of the face. Some people have a round face, some people have a heart-shaped face, some people have a square jaw, square face, and you're going to find the center line. If the one we're doing today is slightly tipped, so you're going to do the center line. Generally speaking, as you can see in this particular illustration, from the top of the head to the bottom of the chin, halfway through that mark, your eyes will be from point of the eye to the outside point of the eye. Sometimes the eye falls below it or above it, and that's what you're going to kind of capture that. So it's usually the eye line is halfway between the chin and the top of the head, and then the nose falls generally halfway between the center line of the eye and the chin is the nose, and then the mouth falls generally halfway between the bottom of the nose to the chin is where the mouth falls in. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to show that. We're going to illustrate how this particular person is slightly different, and everybody's different. Some people have a longer jawline, some people have a longer nose, some people have a longer forehead, and some people have wider faces, narrower faces. So that's what we have to do when we're drawing people. We have to capture a generalized image. I mean, it doesn't, unless you're doing portraiture, which is very, very specific. When you're doing a rendering of a person, if you're doing a life drawing, or if you're out at Starbucks drawing people, just to capture a general idea of somebody is just what we're talking about today. So the person that we're going to be drawing is this person, and so you can see his head is slightly tilted to our left, his right. So now we're going to go on to the illustration, and as you can see, I've already drawn out a general outline of his face. This is on Procreate, and I have this line here, basically. Straighten that out. And his to draw him, I have his photograph right here. We're going to reference that also, and we're going to look at how his face differs from the rendering that we're doing right now. So I'm just setting it up on my computer. Okay. So again, his eye line is about halfway between about here. So halfway between here and here is about here. And let's just draw that line. And how I do it for myself is I don't draw a straight line because nobody's really straight. So I basically sort of tilt that line a little bit, okay? And then halfway between the point at the brow, which his nose is actually, his brow bone is right here, to here, halfway is the nose, and then halfway, for him, he's got a longer nose, we're going to adjust that later, but his lip line is really not halfway, it's a little bit above halfway. That's where the crease of the middle of his mouth goes, right about there. Let's draw it down here. Okay, so his nose, let's say his nose is up here and it starts like this. General rendering. Now for him, the point of his eye, generally when you're looking at a drawing, a map of a person, the end of the eye nostril matches up with the corner of the eye. On him, although it's generally like this, his eye is a little bit on the inside, and so it's going like this. And everybody's, the way it goes across is from one edge of the eye to the other, and then to the outside. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes across, measurement of eyes across. Everybody's a little bit different, obviously. So his eyes are a little bit closer, and so we're just going to map it out. His eyes are a little bit closer, just a little bit closer. I mean, when I'm doing a real portrait of somebody sitting there, I actually have a measuring tool to gauge by. So let's just say that's where his eyes are, and his eyes kind of come across like this, straight across, and his nose is very angled down like this, and then his mouth. Now, the edges of the mouth are generally in the center of where the eye is, although everybody may be looking off to the right or the left, so we have to kind of look at where that eye is falling and where the corner of his mouth is. Is it in the center of his eye? And in this particular one, it is in the center of his eye. So his eyeball is right here, and we draw a line straight down. Basically, his mouth ends here. And on the other side, is it the same way? Yeah, it's pretty close. It's the same way, right about there. So let's draw from the center of the eye down. Right about there. And his mouth turns down a little bit, comes up, comes down a little bit. It's basically a straight line though. And he has a very strong underlip, and he has very defined upper lip. Our basic outline of this person. So, we're going to also do his eyebrows in here. Now remember that when you're drawing the face, there's a skeletal structure underneath that, so it's really important to draw skeletons a lot, or look at skeletons while you're drawing. Because he has a very defined jawline, and what this jaw does underneath there is it connects like this. And this is where teeth are put in there, and it connects like here. So we want to get rid of all that. We want to remember that there is a defined jawline right here on this particular person, and also his chin line. He's got a chin line that comes kind of down a little bit more, so it's more like this, and he has a cleft in his chin. So this is just a rough, of course. And he also has a hollowing here, which is, if you look at a skeletal structure, there's a hollow there. There's like nothing in there. So he's got a lot of hollow in there. So we're just marking that for ourselves, but he's got a like that. And on the other side, again, we have the jawline, and we have how it's attached to the upper mandible. And we're going to draw the ears now. So his ear is starting, the bottom of his ear, because he's kind of facing down very, very little. If he was facing up, it would be in a different place where his ear falls. But his ear is falling, and it's at the same tip as his head, right about here on this bridge of his nose. So if we were to do this, his ear starts here and here, right at basically, right about here. That's where his bottom of his ear is, and the top of his ear is up to here. But that's where it's rounding up to, so you're going to do kind of like this. That's the top of his ear. Okay? His hairline is coming down, let's see, so where the bridge of his nose is where the hairline ends is from the bridge of his nose to the bottom of his nose. So if I was measuring it from this point to the bottom of his nose is exactly where his hairline is, which is right about here. His hairline is doing this. Okay? Up here. So that is our basic drawing that we're going to now go forward with and do more details on his eye, where his eyebrows go, how the nose is set up, and how the mouth's set up. That's on the next section. So follow me to the next video. Thanks for watching, and subscribe.